Hi everybody, I'm going to be doing a little microneedling on my scars, and also I'm going to microneedle one hand and do the near laser on the other hand. So let you guys start coming on. I'm going to make sure I have all of my equipment with me. Hello, hi everybody. Shoot, I need to go grab, oh wait, I have it right here. Okay. Hi, hello. I'm gonna be doing some microneedling on my scars. I'm taking any questions from yesterday because I know my Saturday lives, there's a lot of information, but those were posted to the feed, so make sure you check out that feed. I've got no makeup on today. I wanted to show you. This is 7 days, so it was, 7 days ago today that I microneedled my full face. I've talked about my surgery so many times. I'm happy to do it again here. But I've talked about what exactly I've done. Everything that I have done, I have filmed, and it's on my YouTube channel. Everything. I mean, except for my breast implants. I didn't do that. There's some privacy. But I have filmed everything that I've done. Thank you so much. I just got done with my red light therapy mask, so you might see like a little line here that's from that little device hitting me right there. Shoot, I've lost a little bit of brightness on with you guys. I'm not sure why. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to be doing some scar revisions here. If you look at my arms, it was about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that I did these scars on my arms. This is when I was younger. I fell off a barbed wire fence. I grew up on a small farm. So I'm covered in scars, and I'm testing out just doing this arm and not this, because these are the same whiteness. So when you're microneedling can help with scars, stretch marks, things like that. You don't want to use it on a keloid scar, but you could use them on the flat white scars. So that's what I'm doing here. And if you look, I don't know if you guys can see it. I can see it. If you look at these two scars, I'm gonna try to get both my arms in the shot. If you look at these scars compared to these over here, I want you guys to see, maybe it's not as apparent to you, but these are slightly less pronounced, and there's not as much of a raise on them as this that was not treated, and these are a little bit more bright white than the ones I treated over here. So I'm gonna hit them super hard today. I'm gonna go super deep on these scars. I'm gonna then do the near laser on this hand, which I've been testing out for a while now, and I'm gonna microneedle the other hand. So how old am I? I'm 55 years old. Love my age right now. I'm loving it. This is the Dr. Pen M8. I'm gonna go ahead and take any questions while I'm doing this, because Sunday, Saturday is like kind of an education day. I'm trying to teach something. Sunday, this live goes to my subscribers. So I thank all of my subscribers who are on here today. I thank you for your support. That's the Instagram subscription club. When do you microneedle your arms? Do you change needles with each arm? No, I don't change needles with each arm. Because it's a small area. If I were doing my face, I would probably change the needle before I did my neck and my chest. So sections like this, if I were doing my abdomen, that's one cartridge change. If I'm doing just the scars, spot treating the scars on the arm, that's one cartridge. I might even keep the cartridge on. It depends on how much time I spend on here. I might keep the cartridge on to do the one hand, because I'm only doing one hand. So I think that that's what I'm gonna do. I'm scheduled to do my abdomen today. If you guys follow the protocol that I have, last week I did my face, and then today I'm supposed to be scheduled to do my abdomen, which I'm gonna do off camera. Okay, let's see. I got a little bit of hyaluronic acid in here. I'm gonna just put this on the scars, and I can take any questions that you guys might have. Again, I'm only testing this one arm with the scars because it's fun for me to do. I wanna see, I wanna make sure that when I'm telling clients, yes, this will work on a flat white scar, that I've also gone down that road and I know how many treatments it's taken me to do that. I have had success with this, but I want to know how many treatments can I get a very old, very pronounced, bright white scar to take color again and to look a lot less noticeable. So I'm walking the talk, you guys. We're doing scar revision right now. Okay, I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna go deep today. I have no numbing cream on. I know that's gonna be asked. Oh, can you talk about the order of doing your face for preventing staph? Okay, there's a whole, if you guys do not have the microneedling protocol, make sure you get this. I just got out of the shower. I wiped down with an alcohol wipe. I tend to wipe down 30 minutes prior because I do get red with these, so I want to see what I'm treating. So I wipe down with a alcohol wipe. My Dr. Penn has a new set of sterile needles. Do not reuse these. Okay, that's the best that you're going to get in terms of preventing things like, if you can get staph from shaving your legs, right? There's a lot of different ways that you can get staph. But if you're talking about microneedling at home, when you're using a device like this, you want to make sure you're using a clean, sterile set of needles each time and that you're not continually touching everything. So my phone has been wiped down. I'm starting with sterile things like this. I just touched this kind of thing, and I've got an alcohol wipe that I keep here that I'm going to be continuing to wipe my hands off with. That's about as good as we can do. In terms of staph. If you're using things like this, like the rollers, you want to make sure you're washing this in hot water afterwards. You spray it with a 99% alcohol, not a 78, a 99% alcohol. Let it air dry. When you use it again, you spray it again, let it air dry, and then you wipe off the area with an alcohol wipe. Hope that helped. Just know that my phone is also sterilized. Hello, everybody, for those that are giving these nice little comments. Thank you so much. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Can you talk about the order of doing it? Okay, I already did that. Let me make sure there's nothing else before I just start going at it with these scars. Do you do Botox and fillers all or just these treatments? I am 55 years old. Botox is my friend. It is preventative. I've been doing Botox since I was 35. So for 20 years, I've been doing Botox. My Botox is about to be worn out, but you can tell even when I move my face, see, I still have wrinkles, still have that stuff, still have this. My Botox is I'm due for it. But even when I don't have Botox in my face, if I've gone a little bit too long, I don't have the etching in my skin. That is because of microneedling. That is because of preventative measures of Botox. That is really effective skincare. I do still have, I'm going to get up close and personal, you guys. You want to see what it looks like. I have no makeup on. This is 7 days post microneedling, so I am a little bit flaky here. But if you look at my eyes when I'm not, and my face, when I'm not moving them, I only have like a small etching down here somewhere in my eyes. And that's the younger looking eye protocol. That's microneedling around the eyes. That's preventative Botox, and that's effective skincare. Okay. I don't have filler in my face. I have fat transfer from 6 years ago. I did have a touch up on fat transfer with which somebody had mentioned, like, hey, how can you say this when you had a fat transfer 2 years ago? I get a lot of stuff for free or very little cost because I film everything. And a lot of times people will want to just say, hey, I want to show what this is like on film. Can you come and film it? And it's not like a full treatment. I did have a touch up of fat transfer on one cheek a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, because I had like a small kind of irregularity dent in there. Okay, I am right now at a 0.75 millimeter. I'm at a speed of 3. My amazing husband is about to come in and bring me my mushroom coffee. It's the best part of my life. I have the best husband in the world. Thank you. Okay, set to go now. All right, so I think I am caught up. So any questions I can come up. So I'm gonna be working on this scar that goes this way. You can see it right there. That is from falling off a barbed wire fence. And then the vertical lip lines, how does that help? Microneedling helps with vertical lip lines. You can also do let me just get through this first part. I'm gonna do a stamping technique on the circle scar. You can also get very, very, very small drops of filler in the upper lip to help puff out those vertical lines. How do I get the microneedling protocol? How do I get the microneedling protocol and microneedling device you use? Do you have a coupon? I don't, but I put everything on my Amazon store just to make it easy for you guys. I'm really tired of chasing like affiliate marketing. If I've worked with a company for a long time and I'm trying to read at the same time, you guys, so just bear with me when you see me kind of struggling. It's like patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time. I'm speaking and trying to teach as I'm like reading so that I don't have to scroll back up. Oh my God, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. What were we talking about? Oh, the microneedling protocol. If you can DM me microneedling protocol and I'll get that to you. And then you can, in my Amazon store is where I have the device, just because I'm so tired of chasing marketing people. If I can save you guys some money and it's painless for me to do so, and it is a device that I've used for years and years and years, then I will go ahead and give you guys an affiliate marketing kind of link. But otherwise, I just stick everything in the Amazon. But I do give you links. So if you're interested in microneedling, just DM me microneedling, and I'll get you the device in my Amazon store along with the whole protocol, which has the safety protocol and everything. Let's get back to the vertical lines on the lips, because microneedling does help with that. This is one of the good things I like about this type of old school device, because if it runs out of battery, you know what? You just plug it in. It's like old school like that. I like things like that don't have a ton of bells and whistles. I try to keep all of my cords. See that? This is how, if you have multiple skincare devices, this is a good tip, so that you're not constantly looking for what the cord is. You just do a label so you know what it is. Okay, I'm gonna plug this into my vanity. 1 second, guys, 1 second. Let's see if I can get this going. Let's see. Yes, and we're back in business. See how good that is? Okay, so if you look, you can kind of see I'm getting a little red. I'm gonna crank this up. I'm gonna crank this up to, I'm gonna crank it up to like a 1.5. I went conservative last time because I wanted to see what kind of treatment I was gonna get. And I do feel, and I'm very, the way that I do these kind of testing is very deliberate, so that I know what I'm doing and I can keep track of everything. I'm only treating the scars on my right arm. So any little scar that I have, I've got like all of these little puncture scars. That's from barbed wire. I got shot with a pellet gun. I grew up on a farm, you guys. It's like, there's some shit that goes down when you grow up on a farm. Are you still a huge supporter of, what am I a huge supporter of? Tell me, and I'll let you know. What am I a huge supporter of? Okay, I want to go back and make sure. Vertical lines. Okay, I'm not a huge proponent of somebody to get filler. I think, I want to talk about that keloid. Thank you so much, Chahia Itzy. I think that was it. I'm going to talk about keloid scars as well. I'm not a huge proponent of doing filler in the face. I feel that filler in the face has been done in too much. When if your plastic surgeon or your dermatologist has a cupboard full of filler, which they make a ton of markup on. There's a lot of money to be made in filler, but then everything, if that's like, it's just, think of like if you've got a whole cupboard full of hammers, everything looks like a nail. Oh, you've got this wrinkle, let me throw some filler in it. You got this, let me throw some filler in it. The serum I'm using is a hyaluronic acid. It's just a pure hyaluronic acid, and that's what you want to look for. I'm not a brand ambassador for this, but I like it that it comes in a big tub, and it's relatively affordable for what I'm using it for. I think it's less than $20. It might be $12, but this is on my Amazon store. But it's just a Costa Baja hyaluronic acid. There's nothing else in this. No scent, no nothing. 100% pure. I'm putting it in one of these little silicone caps so that I'm not touching my hand with it. And now I'm gonna go back over this. I've done one pass. Do you take collagen? I have the best collagen in the world. The reason I always have this next to, this is a sealed one because it has to go in the refrigerator, but I always have this on my vanity so that when I finish microneedling, I know I'm going downstairs and I'm doubling up on my collagen. This is why I heal so quickly. It's a combination of collagen and blasting it with red light therapy afterwards. So I'll have, well, I moved all my stuff from yesterday's live. Make sure you check out yesterday's live. It's posted to my main feed. And that is really what's helping me heal a lot is I'm blasting it with red light therapy. So it's improving healing. There's a lot of research. I'm not just blowing this stuff out of my butt. I was gonna say out of my ass. There's a lot of research on wound healing and red light therapy. So I'm blasting with red light therapy. I'm doubling up on collagen. If you want the link to the collagen, just DM me collagen. I'm going back in, folks, going back in. Okay, I'm gonna hit these two. When I'm doing a stamping technique, I don't really need a hyaluronic acid. That's mostly when you're doing a swirling test technique, but I still like to do it. So let me see if I can get this to where, I wonder if I can just bend you guys a little bit. I don't know. What is the collagen called? Is it for external use? Yes, it's drinkable, it's liquid, it's hydrolyzed. So they break down the molecule so that it's more easily absorbable. It's Modere, but if you want the link, I can get you a discount. This is one of those companies that, like, I've been using it forever. It does work and it makes a difference. So if you want the link for that, just DM me collagen after this and I'll send you the link. Okay, so this is the stamping technique that I'm talking about. There's no sense in me swirling. I'm not treating my full arm, but I'm treating those scars. And so what I wanna do is just hold the machine there, let it do its work. So I don't have to do anything and the needles are going in. Does that make sense? If I were doing my full arm, I would do small swirls and I'd have a lot of hyaluronic acid. But since I'm stamping, I don't necessarily need to do that. I can just hold the device there. I've got so many scars on me. In terms of keloid scars, it really depends on how old the scar is, if the scar has completely finished, and also if, because you are ablating the skin, you are, puncturing the top layer of the skin, the epidermis, which then calls on the other layers of the skin to produce collagen and elastin. Because you're doing that, you need to, make sure that you're not overdoing it with other things as well. So when I get done doing this, I'm literally just going to double up on my collagen. I'm going to carry around my little hyaluronic acid container for the next couple of hours and just keep them coated in hyaluronic acid. I'm gonna rinse them then with cool water. This one is starting to bleed a little bit here. I'm gonna rinse them then in cool water and then put on a fine layer of Aquaphor. And then that's what's gonna help heal. So I have a healing ointment on it. I have a collagen, which is gonna speed up the healing as well. This is giving me all the precursors. Collagen isn't magic. It's not like you drink it and it goes to where you want it to go, but it has all the precursors in here so that when I'm calling on my skin, this is the thing that makes sense if you think about it. I'm creating the trauma. I'm creating the trauma that's going to tell my body you need to produce collagen. And then I'm drinking the precursors to make that collagen. Does that make sense? And then I'm just coating it with a no scent healing ointment like Aquaphor. And then I'm going to blast it with red light therapy, which will also speed the healing. That's why after 1 week, I can still go pretty deep on my face. And after 1 week, I've got not one mark on it from microneedling. And in fact, it was like day 2. I was already completely fine. You couldn't see any marks on me. Shoot, this is why I don't like touching the hyaluronic acid. I had a little bit on that brush just because it makes it slippery. Okay, going back in. This is at a 1.5 and a speed of 1. I'm going to crank this up to a speed of 3. The only reason why you should want to crank this up in terms of speed is because if you're just laying it there, it's just the number of pokes that you're getting, right? It's the number of pokes that you're getting. I hope I didn't miss anybody's. If I missed anybody's question, go ahead and just say it again so I'm not having to scroll. Now, I'm not going to do this again to my scars for another 4 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks is when I would normally do it on this kind of scar. Normally for your face, you're looking at every 4 to 6 weeks, and that's all on here. So if you look on my Sundays, I'm always microneedling on Sunday. I pick a different body part. Last week I did my face. This week I'm gonna do my abdomen right when I get off of here, but I wanted to show you guys the progress I was having on the scars and see if there was any questions. Can you microneedle upper lip every 2 weeks? No, I would not do that. You guys, the reason is, this is an interesting thing. Just because your skin, your epidermis is sealed. Do you have a protocol to treat stretch marks with microneedling? Yes, you can treat, I don't have a specific protocol, but absolutely, this works great with stretch marks. And I don't have a length, but I always want to tell people, if you've never microneedled before and you're microneedling anything, a different thing. I've microneedled for years, but let's just say it's the first time I'm going to microneedle this scar. Start small, start at 0.25 millimeters. Do it once, step back away from it for a month. Just because you think you're healed doesn't mean that your skin is finished healing inside and calling on that collagen. And the way that you can tell this is when you microneedle your stomach or you microneedle a body part, and then 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, you go to put on a self-tanner. That self-tanner will pick up every little mark that is still healing that you may not be able to see without the self-tanner being there. Has anybody ever done that? You thought like you microneedled, you're like, oh, my skin's fine, I'm all good. Put on self-tanner and it's like, what has happened? It won't go on right. It leaves little, it picks up on every little discoloration, every little mark. That's your body saying, I'm not done healing. You didn't think I was? Let me show you where. Put on some self-tanner and you'll know. Don't do your upper lip every 2 weeks. Start small, step away from it for 4 weeks. 4 weeks, let it completely heal, not only on the outside, but all the collagen being called underneath as well. Let everything die down again, and then you can hit it again. When you follow the microneedling protocol that I did, I say that I microneedle every Sunday. If something comes up, if life happens and I don't get to it, it tends to be around every 4 to 6 weeks. And that's a very safe way to be able to do this at home. I want to show you guys. So what you'll notice is that it will start, you see the redness? It'll start getting the little tiny thing. Now look, you can tell this is an old scar because it's not even marking right where the scar is, it's marking around the scar, which is the same thing I found last time. But so I thought like, gosh, is this scar just way too old? Like it's just not gonna, it's a different skin. It's just not gonna work. And sure enough, 4 weeks later, it had not lightened, it matched in with my skin tone a lot better than the untreated side. So it is working, it is doing something, it is creating those microtraumas that call on your body to produce collagen. Okay, let me take a little sip of coffee. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. Has everybody looked at like the younger looking eyes protocol? It's so weird for me because I made this protocol, this guidebook that's like 5 pages long. It took me so long to do, and I really give everybody's, like, what are your concerns? Are they fine lines and wrinkles? Here's what you do. Are they eye bags? Here's what you do. Are they, and I gave all this stuff, and then I lost like 1,000 followers because I put that out. I don't know. Social media is weird, you guys. Social media is so weird. I'm sure there's people that come on here and they're like, wait a second. This was the same girl that was talking about metabolic health. right? And red light therapy for increasing our lifespan. And now she's microneedling. Yes, I've been doing the same thing. I've been this same person for a long time. I talk about health on the inside. How do you live longer? How do you increase your health span? But skincare is part of that, because during the aging process, this is the part that shows our age. And so with a graduate degree in psychology, what we look like on the outside is very much tied to what we feel on the inside. And there is this big discrepancy that happens as we age, where we look in the mirror and we see one person, but we feel like we're a 10-year younger version of that person. And so to kind of bridge that gap and not look for perfection and not look to look like you're 20, but to focus on the health of the skin. And how does the health of the skin, how does that, just by coincidence, focusing on the health of the skin, make you look younger? Just like focusing on the health of your inner body is going to be better for your skin, focusing on your skin is also going to make you feel better. It's all connected. So I'm just going to keep doing my shit. I'm going to keep doing my stuff. I'm going to keep putting out protocols. Some of them are going to be on metabolic health. Some of them are going to be on bone density. Some of them are going to be on exercise. Some of them are going to be on younger looking eyes. And I might lose a lot of you guys in the process of that, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay. Little sip of tea, little sip of mushroom coffee. Thank you for being real and direct. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I lose a lot of people. So it's weird. Like all of a sudden I'll do something. I'm like, wow, I got all these new followers for something. And I'll do something that people are asking for, like the younger looking eye protocol. And it's like, wow, I lost 1,000 people overnight. I don't know what I said, but it's the same stuff I've been saying for many, many years now. I have the Solo Wave red light wand. What are your thoughts? My thoughts on that is that the head of that is very, very small. When you're talking about red light therapy, you want the biggest surface area. I just happen to have the cap here, but you want the biggest surface area. So for example, if I'm doing a red light therapy for my hair, I've got a bun on, so it's not gonna really go on that great. But when I do this, I'm looking for coverage, the full coverage. How much can I cover, right? This has extended sides and extended backs. This is the eye restore. By the way, this is on, you guys, this is $450 off only this month. I have insider trading information. They're about to make a change of something. I can't tell you. Shoot, I can't tell you. But this is the lowest price. This is below like their Black Friday kind of sales. And so if you want this device, if you're on the fence about hair loss and you've been wanting a red light therapy device, you can do a couple things. You can put one of those mats on your head for much cheaper, or you can get like a professional device that actually has lasers and red light therapy. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is for the Solo Wand is because we're looking at the surface area that we're covering, right? When you're treating red light, the Solo Wand area is, I mean, it's not even bigger. It's smaller than this. And it has microcurrent. I don't feel the microcurrent in it. And I feel that the wand is so small that for you to treat that area with red light therapy, by the time you're moving it, you're barely getting anything. You want something that is going to have full cover. Let me see if I can grab that mask. See, I love the Sundays because I don't have to, I can just answer questions and we can just really, hold on one second. Let me grab that for you. Oh, it's right here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so when you're looking at a red light therapy device, and I'm gonna get back to the scars, I am, and the keloid, for somebody treating keloid with a microneedling device, I would need to see the scar, go to your dermatologist, but how old is the scar? Is the scar angry? Is it, what's the situation with that? Because this can really help with keloid scars, but if you have a tendency to keloid because you're ablating the skin, you always want to start small. So if you're if you keloid in general, not even treating a keloid scar, but you keloid in general, and you follow my protocol for microneedling every Sunday, you want to do a spot test. You guys, if you own a device, this is the great thing about owning a device. at home and not having to depend on going in for treatment. You can start small. It's not like you're going to waste your money. When you go into an office for treatment, you always think like, I'm paying the money for this. I want to go big. Just do it as intense as you can. I want a good treatment. If you own the device at home, start small. It's not going anywhere. It's not costing you anything besides one little container like this, which is less than $3 for these things. I think you can get a whole bag of them. So it's not costing you a little bit of money to just slow your roll down a tiny bit. Oh my God, I just said slow your roll. I don't even know where that came from, but just slow down a little bit and start small test spots. So if you have a keloid scar, it's old enough. You want to, oh yeah, okay, sorry. You guys, I'm going to break your heart on a lot of the devices that you bought that I feel like are not doing you justice. So yeah, the Solo Wand is one of them. I think it's great for lymphatic drainage, but I don't think the red light therapy is doing shit. It's too small of a head. It's not covering the surface. So when you're doing red light therapy, surface area that you're covering, whether it's one of these masks or the eye restore hat or the big panel, the surface area is important. And red light therapy in a thing that is this small, you're wasting your money. That little Solo Wand I think is great for lymphatic drainage because I believe that there's a vibration on it. I can't feel any of the microcurrent, but to just move the fluid out towards those channels where they drain down, that's going to help chisel out your face. But don't think that you're going to get a good red light therapy thing from that. Okay, your scars from 1971. If it's a keloid scar and it's from 1971, what I would do is I would test a corner of it. So an example, if this is keloided, it's red right now because I'm treating it, but if it's keloided, I'm going to try to do a 0.25, minimal, start small. Do a 0.25 just on the end of it. You don't do like I would say, do a stamping technique, a 0.25, maybe up to a 0.50, but just on the end of it, not in the meat, not over the whole thing, just on the end of it. You could do 3 passes of that at like a speed of 3 or even 6 because you're just going to stamp it there. And then wait for a month. I know it's really difficult to be that patient, but that's the way that you're going to determine, is doing microneedling going to make it worse or better? And if you keloid in general, and this is what I was trying to get to earlier, I go off on a lot of tangents, but this is what I was trying to get to earlier. If you keloid in general, always start small, always test the device in an area where you're not going to see it. So like behind your ear, down here, like right here behind your ear is a good place to test it. And then you can see, is it going to leave a darker mark? Am I doing more harm than good? Start small. Okay, let me catch up here and see if there was anything else. Okay, I'm going to go back over this. I think so far I have all the questions answered. You guys can tell me if there's anything else, or just put them right. You can just put them right now. This is going to be, it's on my stomach and it's about 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters, that's a long scar. Okay, so if it's from the 1970s, it's 10 centimeters on your stomach. The first thing that I would do is, it depends on your finances, but I would look into a scar revision. If it's changing what you're doing with your body, if you're wearing a bikini, if you're self-conscious about it, I would look into a scar revision, because from 1970, the way they're closing up scars is a lot better. And so you might end up with a smaller scar that's not keloided if you do a scar revision and then try to hit it with this. Otherwise, second option, stay on the tip of it, on the little wing of it, the very beginning, at a 0.25, see what it's gonna do. But 10 centimeters and you keloid, and it's from 1971, my first thought would be scar revision. Let's do a scar revision, because they're closing them up a lot better now. And the way that they're doing things to heal, like whether they're injecting exosomes while they're sewing you up, it might be more time and cost effective to do that. Just my thought. Okay, I'm gonna go over this again. Whew, okay. Anything else, you guys? I think there was one other device that was up there, but I don't really want to scroll. I can try. It's just going to be way up there. So if there's any questions on what I'm doing, this is for those of you just joining. I'm doing a little bit of a scar treatment with the Dr. Pen M8. If you don't have my microneedling protocol, you can DM me microneedling. This live will not be posted to my main feed. My Sunday lives are posted in my subscription club. Okay, I think that's going to be it. I'm going to move on to my hand. And I've got a couple of the scars down here that I'm doing. So I'm treating one hand. I do this often, you guys. I don't do this often on camera where I'm treating different sides of my body differently, but this is the way that I have over the years determined, is the marketing of a device complete bullshit? Is it, are they doctoring the before and afters? And the way that I can tell, sometimes, subtle changes, and they are subtle changes with at-home devices. There are even subtle changes with in-office devices, unless you're doing something giant. Thoughts on the Obagi blue pill at home? I can't imagine them doing the real Obagi blue peel at home. They might be, some sort of lesser degree of that at home, an at-home version. But I've had that done before, and they used to just put you out for a second. They just give you a shot you'd go out for 30 seconds and you'd wake up and your face would be blue. That is not something that I would imagine you'd be able to do at home unless you're a dermatologist and you have access to that. You can get some crazy shit on Amazon, you guys, from overseas. It doesn't mean that it's okay to use. Doesn't mean it's okay to use. I love the Obagi blue peel. I love it. It really changed my skin. I had it done, how old am I? I'm 55 now. It was about 10 years ago. And he told me to come in every 4 to 6 years to do it. And I promised that I would, and I'm due, but COVID happened and a lot of stuff happened and I just didn't get in. But with those blue peels, like my pores went whoosh, my rosacea was gone. I did a blue pill without sedation and it was wild. It's wild. They are doing them now without sedation. I know Dr. Bashi in Los Angeles is doing the Obagi blue pill without sedation. But I do think that he gives you a little bit of something to calm you down, like a little Xanax, or I don't know what it is, or maybe he just says, take that on your own. I don't know. But I do know that they are doing it, without sedation, and it's pretty wild. So at home, no, I would not say do an Obagi blue peel at home. But there are a lot of peels you can do at home. A lot of texture. Blue peels help with texture and fine lines. And pore size, 100%. It helped with my texture, which is now kind of a little bit back. I have a little bit of texture on my chin, which is hormonal because I am in menopause. But it did really help with even out the skin tone and texture, fine lines, and my pores went whoosh to nothing. So that was great. But I kind of need to get in and to do it. But I've been doing so much stuff at home that I really kind of started amping up during COVID, that I feel like I'm getting better treatments doing them consistently at home with a lesser degree than I am spending the money and doing big treatments in the office. What's that peel called? It's called the Obagi blue peel. He calls it a different name. It's the controlled depth. According to him, it's the Obagi controlled depth blue peel. He has a very long name for it. I forgot. It's in one of my interviews with him. Okay. I'm going to microneedle this hand. I'm going to do the Nira laser on this hand because I'm testing out which one is better. So this treatment is done. So if you can see, I did this vertical scar. I'm now at a 0.15. I just want to make sure so I have it. Yeah, I'm at a 0.15. There's a little tiny bit of breakage of the skin, but not much. I did this circular scar, and this circular scar. And what I'm going to do is compare them to these over here. And what I've found so far is just even with the one treatment, it's already picked up a little bit more of my skin tone so that it's not as bright right and not as raised. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Okay, let me do this hand, and I might have to bend you guys down a little bit. Let me see. So I'm gonna put my hand If I put my hand here, can you guys see this? Or is it like too much of the you know, the questions coming up? What do you guys think? Can you see it? What is the best way to get rid of lines around the mouth on the lower cheek area? Are you talking about here? Are they vertical lines or are they lines here? Describe what you mean. And microneedling is a great way. I'm gonna take off my rings. What do you do with an acne scar? Same thing, you can microneedle. And you would do a stamping technique with an acne scar, just like I did here. It's good, we can see. Okay, good. I'm like this. I'm like, I'm gonna be going up and down. Okay, let me I'm gonna just grab a towel real quick so you guys aren't seeing through my, oh, I have it right here, through my vanity. Because I have my protocols down there. Let me just, you know what? Hold on, I'll be right back. 1 second. 1 second, don't go anywhere. Okay, got it. Okay, I'm gonna do my hand, and then when I get off here, I'm gonna do my abdomen. Okay, on cheek area. So are they vertical lines like this? That to me means you've got a loss of volume in your cheek. I used to be super dry, flaky, now it's normal. Okay. And I think that was, sorry. The luxurious roses, was that a scar that you were talking about? That wasn't the one from the 70s scar, right? What will you recommend for skin pigments and dark spots? Where do you buy the pen needles? On Amazon, the pen needles are on Amazon. Just DM me after this microneedling and I'll get you the Amazon link, or it's in my linked tree in my bio. And they have the refills there, which are, I always use a 16 pin needle. Not always, but mostly, because it's a good all-around needle. I know I missed something up here. The dark spots. So the dark spots for pigment, there's a lot of different things. I did a whole live on hyperpigmentation. So you can go back and look at that live, or you can just DM me dark spots. I did one on dark sunspots and hyperpigmentation. I did one on melasma. There's a lot of different things that you can do now. In terms of just over-the-counter medications, over-the-counter skincare, look for something that has niacinamide in it and also vitamin C. So a niacinamide I think is good at night mixed with a retinoid, also good for hyperpigmentation, and a vitamin C in the morning. Okay, let's see. Oh, shit. I was like, why is that so deep? TCA pills are great. I love TCA pills. I did also a live on which chemical pill at home is right for you. So if you look down through my main feed, you'll see that all of the lives have like a teal kind of, a teal thumbnail, and it says live there. And the chemical peels was only a few weeks ago. So you should be able to find that pretty easily. I'm gonna go down to a 0.25. Hello. I'm gonna go down to a 0.25. I do not wanna do a 1.5 on my hands. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. Okay, 0.25, here we go. All right, whew. Okay, I am doing a swirling technique. Can you guys see this? I'm doing a swirling technique. This is my right hand. And then I'm gonna do my left hand with the Nira laser. Get a lot more, need a lot more hyaluronic acid with this. When you swirl, when you do the swirling technique, you wanna make sure you've got a big goop of hyaluronic acid, because that's what's gonna help the device move easily on top of your skin. So I'm doing small swirls. Doing small swirls, and I'm gonna keep trying to look up for the questions, you guys. This again will be posted not to my main feed, this will be posted to the subscription club. If you're not a subscriber, just know I'm here every Saturday and Sunday. So if you have a microneedling device and you want a microneedle, I'm doing something every Sunday. Probably losing a lot of followers in doing this, but this is what we do. And so I'll microneedle something every Sunday, and that gets posted to my subscription club. And then the demos, those are all demos, and they're lined up in there. And then for my Saturdays, which are more educational and not as much demo-y, those get posted to my main feed. So, okay. And also, I always encourage people, you know, most of what I do is one-on-one consultations, which I love because I can make a big difference in people's life. If you think that you're learning something here, if I had you alone for an hour on a Zoom, where we could either do treatments like this together, or we could talk about metabolic health, or we can talk about healthy weight loss, we could talk about exercise, we can come up with those kind of programs. I'm schooled in all of that. And so this is just one small part that I do when it comes to healthy aging, but I feel it's a very important part because this shows our age more than anything. When we walk into a room, it's our skin that shows our age. And so why are we spending all this time on only focusing on our heart health and our bone health and our metabolic health, and we're not talking about or focusing on the health of our skin, which is very much tied to self-esteem and how we feel about ourselves as we age. And so I do all of that. This is a small part, but it is a part. So if you guys are interested in doing one-on-one consultations, just know that there's a lot more to it than just microneedling your body, right? There's a lot that goes into it. I'm working with a client right now that wants to lose 60 pounds. And I love that. And I know that I can help her, and that I can't begin to tell you how much joy that brings me. How long after microneedling do you wait on your red light mask? When I use the panel, that's a great question. When I use the red light panel, I'll do it right away. But to put something right next to broken skin, I don't do until the next day. So I'll usually, when I do my abdomen later, I'll stand in front of my red light full panel, usually at that night. And then in the morning, I'll do the same thing. But if I'm doing it on my face, I don't want to put the mask right up against the broken skin. So I'll use the panel, and then the next morning I'll put the mask on, and I'll start doubling up on my red light with the mask, and I start doubling up on my collagen as well at the same time. And when I get done with my hands, this is why I have it up here, so I can remember. I'll double up on my collagen as well. So if you want the link for that, just DM me collagen. I don't know if there was anything else that I missed. If I missed a question, you guys, I don't want to scroll up because I'm sterile right now, and I'm like kind of crouched down here trying to make sure that you guys can see this. Can everybody see this? Is this okay? For me, it's like kind of buried in all of the questions, but I want to make sure that you guys can see it. Okay, I'm still going to do a swirling. This is like my second round right now. Let me get it to where you want to try to get it to where your skin is not creased. So you're going to get a better result when you can get all the way in all the little fine lines. So I try to keep it like that. Are you using, and no, I do not use, guys, this is going to be shocking. I don't use any numbing cream at all. And the reason is you'll know is green tea, I love green tea all day. Is it dehydrating? It's not dehydrating. Green tea is great for you. It's great for you. It's a superfood. There's all these, just a ton of research on green teas. Green tea is very dehydrating. So I think you're going to run, green tea's not dehydrating. No, that's not dehydrating. That's actually really good for you. Green tea still has caffeine, so be careful when you're drinking it. When it gets close to bedtime, like I kind of try to stop having any caffeine consumption after 3 p.m. because I really prioritize my sleep. That's the only concern that I would have. But you want to know how much green tea I drink? From the time I wake up. This is full of green tea. It's a matcha green tea, but it is in a tea bag. I drink this entire thing of green tea before lunch. So I have this entire thing of green tea, which I'm drinking here, and I have my mushroom coffee. Green tea is so good for your skin, just for everything. Really, it really is. So no, it wouldn't be dehydrating. Okay, I'm gonna do this again. Round 2. My hand is just now kind of getting pink. We've done a full round. I'm gonna stamp on my fingers because that's too difficult to swirl. I'm at a speed of 1. I like to keep a speed of 1 when I'm working around bony anatomy. Do you suggest anything else if sensitive to caffeine? Oh, wait, maybe I misunderstood your question. Are you saying that, let me just make sure that I'm understanding your question. Are you wanting to drink green tea all day, even towards the night, and you're worried about being sensitive to caffeine? If so, you can always switch to a decaf. I also love a hot water and lemon at night. So I'll do like, sometimes I'll put like a half of a lemon, just the whole carcass, everything, squeeze it a little bit, cut it in half so it's like 2/4 of a lemon in a whole thing of hot water. And then while I'm watching TV or whatever at night, I'm drinking that. I love that because it also helps with pH balance. I do drink all day, no problem. Good, okay. Yeah, green tea doesn't have a ton of caffeine. And if you're used to drinking it all day, that's not a problem at all. It's not like drinking coffee all day. What is your favorite? My favorite green tea is by Rishi. It's an organic because everything needs to be organic. And yeah, there are benefits to drinking caffeine. Do you think that some of the problems are ordinary? Will help with dark spots on the cheeks. Yes, but you're looking for something with niacinamide in it with dark spots. Another type of product that I like is Faded by Topicals. Faded, F-A-D-E-D, by Topicals. And that's great for dark spots as well. But you want to look for that. You can do a spot treatment with Faded. And then a niacinamide works well with retinoids at night. That will also help to fade. And a vitamin C in the morning will brighten the area. So I just gave you 4 different: retinoid, niacinamide, vitamin C, sunscreen, and Faded for so it's 5 different things I just gave you. Sunscreen, no matter if you're inside or not. Faded can do it, the spot treatment for that, for the dark spots. Niacinamide mixed with or layered with retinoids at night, and a vitamin C to brighten the area in the morning. It's 5 things just for those dark spots. You can also catch that live I did on hyperpigmentation. Okay, I think I missed a question. Shoot, I'm gonna try to scroll. I'm only using the fingertip. My phone is sterile, you guys, just so you know. When do you do your arms and the underarms too, or just the upper arms? I don't do the underarms. To be honest with you, you've got lymph nodes under your underarms. I stay away from those areas. I just don't like that physical manipulation of that, just for safety. But I do sometimes do right here. So I don't always do my full arms. I would say I probably do my arms once every 3 months or so, only because I don't really have crepey skin there. But I will do, sometimes I'll do my forearms and then I'll do right here, where that bend is. Does that make sense? Sometimes I'll also do the back of my arms and above my elbows. And all of those, you guys, all of them. I don't know why I give all this, you guys, there's so much free stuff. All of that is in the microneedling protocol. What speed am I using? What depth am I using? How many passes am I doing on various body parts? You just need to DM me microneedling and I'll get that to you. And all I ask is this, it's for free. Just share this channel with your friends. You know, if you think people will enjoy this, Instagram has a hard time figuring me out because I'm not just skincare. And so I get people on my channel that were like, oh, this is the girl that microneedles. And then you hear me having a guest on talking about menopause and they're like, nope, I'm out of here. Or you have somebody that like, they're drawn to me because I'm talking about healthy aging and exercise. And I'm talking about, you know, metabolic health and bone density and all of that. And then they're like, yes, follow. And then I microneedle and they're like, nope, I'm out of here. So I get like, they can't figure me out. So if you know people, when I give you all these free protocols, if you know somebody that would benefit from that, just share it. Just share it. That's all. Okay. So you would just DM me microneedling. I'm going to swirl on the top and then I'm going to do the near laser on the other hand and I'll be out of here. Okay. So I'm going to swirl this on the top. This is a second pass. I did the fingers already once. Small circles. Joan Rivers has that saying, that quote, which I love, which I've said yesterday, but she has that quote. I think I said it yesterday. She has that quote that says, you can hide a lot of things, but the hands always give it away. They do. We wash our hands a lot. The skin on our hands is very fragile. And so microneedling is one of the ways to thicken up that skin. I have a microneedling pen and the Nira laser. Can you do both? Not at the same time, and not within, I wouldn't do a Nira laser within 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks of doing a microneedling. So if you decide you want to do the Nira laser around your eyes, I've been microneedling around my eyes for a long time, and I really do feel that that is what has gotten rid of the fine lines and wrinkles, or staved them off from coming, along with Botox and along with just effective skincare. But if you want to do something like a Nira laser and you're microneedling, you need to wait 4 weeks. So if I did my eye, like just did my eyes last week. So I would wait 3 weeks, then I could do the Nira laser. And this is a laser that you'd want to do every single day. It's in my younger eye protocol. But if you do this every single day, you can't microneedle. You're not going to have time for that collagen to build, and you could be doing more harm than good. So I would not do both. Wait 4 to 6 weeks prior to and post microneedling before you introduce any other sort of laser, right? I know everybody wants the quick fix. They want it all now, and you think that your skin is healed, and what are you talking about? It's healed, and it's really not, because our skin is not just the epidermis. There's layers to our skin, and all of it needs to be healed prior to introducing any or other sort of modality, or you're going to take you're going to take 5 steps backwards. 3 steps forwards and 5 steps backwards. That's not how I play. That's not how I play. I want to make sure that I'm being very strategic about it. Okay. I'm just like, I'm going to crank this up. Sorry. I'm going to crank it up, and I'm going to do one more pass on the palm, on the back of my hand. I'm going to go to a 0.5 for my third pass, and then I'll do the Nira laser on the other one. Now you can kind of see what these scars are looking like, right? This is what it kind of looked like the last time, only probably not as many of the little nicks, the little parts where it actually drew a tiny bit of blood. I'm going to keep coating it with the hyaluronic acid, and then I'm not even going to rinse this, but I will start layering on the Aquaphor in a little bit, and I will start doubling up on my collagen. How often do you use the laser if you needle every 4 to 6 weeks? I don't, if I'm going to be needling. So in other words, I started my husband on this, and he's doing this every night around his eyes. I can tell a difference. But for me, because I just microneedled, I would wait post microneedling for 4 to 6 weeks. Then if I decided, hey, I want to try out this Nira laser, and I'm going to try it, like they say, every day for a month, I would not be microneedling. So I'd try this every day for a month, see, do I like it, or even 90 days. But after I stopped this, I would wait another 4 to 6 weeks before I even thought about doing a microneedling tool. Okay, you have to be consistent. Consistency is important, but consistency doesn't mean you're doing this every day, or you're doing this every day if that's not what the instructions say. It's about how are you strategically placing these devices so that you're not doing more harm than good. Have you ever seen one of these amazing women that this is what they do, is all they do is the devices, and they're a lot more aggressive than I am. And they're doing things like Botox and threads and things like that at home themselves. When you look at the integrity of their skin, the health of their skin, it look to me is more fragile. And I think you want thicker, healthier, younger functioning skin. We're not going for younger looking skin. How is your skin going to function in a younger way? How it looks is going to follow. How it looks is going to follow. Okay, cranking this up. I'm doing one more pass at this, and then I'm going to do the Nira laser on this hand. We're going to see which one works. And the reason why I'm testing this out of my hands is I've always microneedled my hands every 4 to 6 weeks. But because the skin on the hands is very similar to the skin around the eyes, I'm testing the difference between the NeuroLaser here and the microneedling device here. Does that make sense? I know. Okay. Is this at a 0.5? No, this is the problem. Oh my gosh. This is why. Okay. This is the one thing I don't like about this device. It's very difficult to see the depth of the needle because it's like silver on silver. Okay, I hope I didn't miss any questions. You'll see the NeuroLaser is going to be very quick for me to do that on my other hand. Okay, just want to make sure I get this really good. After how often needling will you see results? The sweet spot, honestly, is like 7 to 10 days. In 7 to 10 days, this is 7 days. I have no makeup on. This is I have mascara, but that's it. This is 7 days. And it's just now where I'm like, oh, my skin's looking, I still have a few little marks, but my skin's looking pretty good. And it's like, so if you have like an event that you want to go to and you want your skin to be great, I always aim for 2 weeks. 2 weeks prior is when I'll give myself a really good microneedling treatment. Okay, that's gonna be it for this hand and this arm of scars. All right, I'm gonna snap this off. This gets thrown away. Do not reuse this, okay? And then I'm gonna do the NeuroLaser on my other hand. Let me coat this. And then I will just kind of show you guys, since this is spot treatment and I don't really need this hyaluronic acid here, I am gonna put a little bit of Aquaphor. Wipe off with this. So I've got some alcohol there, and I'm just gonna put a little layer of Aquaphor. And then a little bit later, I'm gonna do some red light therapy over the area. This I'm gonna just keep coating for a little bit with the hyaluronic acid. Okay, moving on to the NeuroLaser. I'm gonna do this on this hand, and I'm gonna do it on the highest setting because now I'm kind of used to it. Okay, so we're going on the level 5. That's the highest. This is the precision. It's very small. They do make a bigger one. And I started my husband on this around his eyes because I microneedle and I do all of that. I wanted to start on somebody fresh who doesn't normally do these kind of devices. So my husband is now doing this every day. Every day. I missed a question. I know I did. Sorry. What is the skincare products that you use after microneedling? I only use an Aquaphor. Don't use anything scented. Don't use anything with an active ingredient. No retinoids, no vitamin C. Not even like aloe vera or anything like that. You want to really make sure that you're not introducing anything that's going to cause sensitivity to the area. So I use a pure hyaluronic acid while I'm microneedling, and post microneedling, I will continue to add the hyaluronic acid for a couple of hours, and I'll just walk around with this until it's gone and just continually coat. Now this I wanted to just get some straight to the Aquaphor because it's already been, a good 45 minutes. So I just wanted to get this sealed up, and now I'm doing the NeuroLaser. But yes, it's normally a couple of hours walking around with the hyaluronic acid, and then I'll rinse with cool water and add a layer of Aquaphor. Laser link, please. DM me because I won't be able to respond to this, and this will only go to my subscription club afterwards. So when this is done, just DM me NeuroLaser and I'll give you the link to it because I do think I can save you a little bit of money there. Does microneedling work on hyperpigmentation of scars? It does, but you want to test the area first. So how old is the scar? Is it flat? Is it like a flat red scar? Is it a flat, barely pink scar? Like, what does it look like? Does it look angry? All of that stuff. Why are you ghosting me? I don't know what that means. Listen, there are no questions that I deliberately avoid or don't answer. So if I missed your question, then just ask it again. Just know I'm in the middle of doing something, and so I might not be able to see it. If I look down at all, I might miss the question. It doesn't mean that I'm not trying to answer it. So if I missed your question, just ask it again. Super simple. I'm just going literally in a row. That's kind of what I'm doing. So I make sure that I've got all of the treatment area covered. And then I'm just gonna come up this side and do the same thing. And I will do my fingers as well. Okay, so I think we're scrolled up. When you hear that noise, that means you don't have it flush. See, it's not firing. So if it's flat, you press, wait for the beep, move. Press, wait for the beep, move. And what it feels like is it feels like super intense hot, but not enough to where it would hurt. Now, if you keep this in the same spot, so you've already heated that dermis, and I think the dermis, I think, heats to, oh my gosh, what is it, 14, 50 degrees? It's like ridiculously hot. I believe maybe that's the wavelength, actually. Yeah, that's the wavelength. That can't be the temperature. That would it'd be like, poosh. Do you use numbing cream on your face? I don't use numbing cream. The reason is because it's an extra process. Well, there's a couple reasons. It's an extra process that you're going to have to wipe the numbing cream off. You can buy the Nira laser on Current Body. It's the Nira. Yes. Yeah, I can get you a little bit of a discount, I think. So just if you want to just DM me, I can do that as well. Totally up to you. But if you listen, you guys find a cheap price or something's on sale of one of the things that I'm talking about, please share it. Put it anywhere. Put it in a post that I do. Put it anywhere, but share it because, these devices are not cheap and we want to help people be able to get them if they want to have them. Just like right now, you're never going to get this for cheaper. This is $450 off of this, which brings the price down to $750. You're never going to get this cheaper. So if you can find it, well, I can tell you right now, you're not going to because I talked to the company yesterday. But if you're interested in the hair loss hat, then just DM me because I think that sale ends at the end of the month. At the end of the month, they're making some changes, and so that's why it's on sale. It's not for people aren't buying them. It's just that they're making a change in something, which I can't tell. They're making a little change, not in the strength of it or the function or anything, but for $450 off of this, that's pretty good. Okay. Did I miss anything else? Let me try to scroll. What would help with dark spots or hyperpigmentation? Somebody asked that earlier, and I did a whole live on dark spots and hyperpigmentation, so make sure you check that out. Again, the live shows have the teal color and they say live on them, so it's kind of easy to see from the thumbnail, but you might just have to scroll down. Hello, good afternoon. Happy Sunday to you as well. So cute. Okay, I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to be going over the knuckles now. When you can feel what this does is if you keep it in that same spot that you just lasered and you do it again, and then it's like, okay, we don't want to go over the same spot twice. And it is heating that dermis down there that's shocking it into producing collagen. That's how this works. It targets the water in your skin. So being hydrated really helps. But that's the basis of this laser. Let me see if I can bring it up here. Yep, I'm doing my pinkies too. I'm doing all the way up, all the way, and even on the sides. Our hands go through so much. Hi, Iran. Wow. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for being here. Okay, see, it misfired a little bit. 3 more fingers. 3 more fingers and we're out of here. This is a long live, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway, so I might as well have you guys on here if you want to ask questions. Normally my lives are like an hour. And just remember, the Saturday lives are posted to my main feed. So the one I did yesterday on LED lights and all of the benefits of LED lights, whether it's healthy aging skin, or whether it's just healthy aging in general with circulation and inflammation and mood and all of that. ATP production, that live is posted on my feed, but this live goes to my subscription club. All my Sunday lives go to my subscription club. Okay, I think we're almost done here. And then I'll see you guys. Next week we're doing fatty liver. See, this is the thing. I'll microneedle one day. And we're talking about fatty liver with Sheila on Saturday. So I'll make sure that I get those promo stuff out so you guys know what that's about. But that has to do with a lot of different symptoms that we have. We think that it's from menopause or from whatever, and a lot of it is just fat that's being stored in our liver because of our American diet is so terrible. I've never had a bleph. This is the part that is not hard for people to understand. I don't mean it like that, but I've never had an upper bleph at 55, never had an upper bleph. I've never had a lower bleph. And that has to do with what I do with my eyes. So if you want the younger looking eye protocol, that's effective skincare. That's microneedling consistently. That's using a little bit of microcurrent to lift the lid. But I do on this give you options. I give you in-office procedures and at-home devices and skincare that works for whatever it is that you are treating, whether that's fine lines and wrinkles or eye bags or dark circles. So that's all in here. But no, I haven't had that. But I do have clients that have. I've recommended clients to have that before, and they have had great results. It's actually an in-office procedure. They don't even put you out anymore. So you go home right away, and you've got like a little stitches here. But I haven't done it. I'm not there yet. Not that I won't have it done one day. I probably will. But right now, all of these like at-home devices and the skincare and the red light therapy, all of that stuff is kind of helping me kind of stave those off for the future. Okay. Near laser, you can see it's non-ablative. It's not even red. Microneedling, this is going to take a tiny bit of time, but I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, which one works better, because the skin is very similar to the ones around the eyes. If you are going to use the near laser, make sure that you're not using it within 4 or 6 weeks before or after a microneedling device. Okay, you guys, I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. I've been on here way too long. I'll see you guys on Saturday at 11. Okay, I'll answer this one question. Do you leave the house and expose the sun to the day of the microneedling your face and hands? That's a great question. I'm glad I stayed on. I would never say everybody stay inside, but on days when I microneedle my face, where it's exposed, I can wear gloves. I've got like UV gloves that actually come up to here. So I could actually go outside and I'd have a UV glove up to here, which would keep all of this out of the sun. But when I microneedle my face or my neck, I'm using physical blockers. So that same day, I don't want to put on sunscreen because I don't want any chemicals in skin that is ablated, that has been, damaged on the epidermis. So I'm using physical blockers of a hat. I'm using like big wraps and things like that to where I'm not exposing that damaged skin to the sun that day. Now the following day, if I've doubled up on my collagen, DM me collagen if you want that. If I've doubled up on my collagen and I'm blasted with red light and the surface, the epidermis is sealed, if it's all sealed, then I will put sunscreen on the skin. Okay, you guys, I'll see you next week on Saturday, and we're talking about fatty liver and how to help you live longer. All right, have a great day. Bye.